Greetings, it is I, Countess Naravan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome. It is time to continue our discussion on the 4th edition of Shadowrun. We last left off, we were diving into the Matrix and the wireless world. Well, today I'm going to continue with that. Let's first start by finishing up the miscellaneous actions you can do when interacting with the Matrix. You can control a agent, a drone. What this would do is you're effectively giving control. You're basically putting in some kind of command into it, manual command almost you could think about. You're effectively remote controlling the drone without going the full immersion into it. So you're not like VR, I'm one with the drone, I'm effectively like remote controlling it almost video game style. I might have to make a appropriate command plus vehicle skill test in order to control it the way I want to do it. Now this, again, it's different than the VR hacking in, and it's not the same as just issuing command in which the drone itself will be doing its thing. And the fact is, depending on your thing, you might have to not make the skill test. I talked about the skill test of your command plus vehicle skill test. You might not need to make that. It's going to be your GM's call whenever you're controlling this drone or vehicle, when you actually have to make that test. Now you can also issue orders. It's a simple action to issue orders to some kind of agent you have. Now, if you have a large group of agents, you can use one issuing of command if it's the same command to all those agents. So I have a bunch of things. I issue one single command with one simple action. As soon as I want to add different commands to a different agent out of my group of agents, it's a different action. So it would be like if I'm ordering these 3 to do something and these 3 to do something, and it's just slightly different, it will still require separate commands for doing this. Now, an agent can only be commanded by the persona that's basically linked to it. I can spoof it, basically trick it into thinking I'm the proper persona to give control and give issuing orders to it, then it will listen. Or me as the controller, I could actually give permission for another persona to give it orders to. So I could say, hey, buddy, you over there, I'm giving you permission to use my agent here, whether it's a drone or a program or something else entirely. I'm allowing you to issue orders just like I would do. Now you can also, well, you can reset a system. You can shut down and restart it. The use of this is basically you're resetting the system. If your matrix condition has taken damage, it's resetting the system. This is an extended test you'd be taking. You'd roll system plus response. With a threshold of 10, that takes you 1 combat turn in between each time you roll it. This will just be your hard resetting your system so that it's going to be back up working again. It will shut down and come back on. Technomancers can also actually do this. They can reset their living persona. What they're going to have to do is, first off, they're going to have to sever their connection to the Matrix. So they're going to set themselves off like that. Then they're going to roll an extended test of logic plus willpower, also threshold of 10, but they do it over an hour. They can't be doing any kind of major actions while they're rolling this. They have to kind of be relaxing, but they just take a couple of hours, relax, reset their brain system, and their living persona also gets its conditions and attributes returned back to its original form. You're effectively resetting it. Now, no group of Shadowrunners are going to get very far in life if they don't have a hacker, or at least someone that can do some kind of hacking. It's probably going to come up in some kind of run somewhere that someone's going to have to break into some kind of system and alter or edit a program, get a piece of information, shut down a piece of security, something of the like that's going to save your lives. And if you don't have that, you're in trouble. So it's a very important thing. A hacker basically breaks into a node, breaks through its firewall, is an unauthorized user, gains access to it, and therefore affects the node then in the way that is proper to whatever they're attempting to do. They are unauthorized in getting in there. They try to avoid the various security systems. That node might have security built into it that's preventing hackers from affecting it. Security that helps its firewall be more dangerous to break in through. Various things set up to prevent hackers from getting into it. Once you're in and you have not triggered security, maybe whatever actions you're doing, you also have to worry about setting off some kind of alarm within the system. But you also might have to worry about, well, patrolling ICE and roving security hackers that could find you. So there is this danger in amongst yourself of this push and break in as an unauthorized user that you have to worry about the security coming and turning against you and going after you, making it harder for you to do your job that you're trying to do here. If you do something like when you're breaking in and you alert the node that you're there, it will either activate its security measures, contact security. Oh, this person is doing something illegal here, hacking into me here. Or sometimes they have even more drastic measures depending on the type of node and how much protection they're trying to put into it. Now, one of the main ways a hacker could get in is with a passcode. They can get a passcode in a number of different ways. They can steal it. They can basically like sort of shift, kind of like, basically get into someone and get their information from them. They can kind of break into systems and get them out, other systems and break them out. They can, once you get a passcode, of course, a passkey, you can either use it directly, which then you have to worry about if you basically had stolen this information from someone directly. They might notice it's gone. Or you could try to copy it. If you're trying to copy it, you have to break the encryption on it before you can actually copy it. It requires a hardware plus logic extended test, 10 threshold, a day as the rate that you can roll it at. So it does take a while. And the disadvantage of this is passcodes are oftentimes only have a limited amount of time that they're useful. Now, once you've broken into this entire system, once you've gotten your edits into something, it becomes easier for you to connect into it. That's a helpful thing, especially if you've edited something within the system, basically made an opening for yourself. If I'm getting into a system that needs a passkey, this passkey that I've either stolen or copied, it might not last for long, ever. Most systems change their passkeys or have their authorized users change their passkeys over after a certain point in time. After that, the one you're using is not going to be right. And if during this sort of reset, if they detect security problems within this node, it can happen because they're basically checking the node to change things over. Or if you're trying to use a passkey that's already gone out of use, then of course they might shut down the node. Or the security might be more alert there and basically make it more difficult for you to break in. The other way is to just basically break in. The passkey, you're basically pretending to be someone that's authorized. This is, I'm breaking in, which you can do the brute force on the fly attempt, or you could attempt a more long-term probing security for a weakness. Let's talk about the brute force attempt on the fly. If I'm on a run, on some kind of mission, I might get to a point in time, I need to break into some kind of system. It needs to happen now. That's when this brute force attempt comes in. That's when I'm just going to use all of my tricks and of the trade to break in through the security and get into this node. Now, I might want to avoid security, but maybe I don't care. The point is not that I worry about alerting security. I'm in trouble that I need to go very quickly in breaking in here. So I might just be like, screw security, bam, punching my way in through that node. I don't care about it. I need to get a job done, and whether security knows about it or not, that doesn't matter to me. I might need to disable something here to open a door, the door that's blocking our way. We have in-person security rushing us down, going to shoot us full of bullets. That's a lot worse than worrying about what my persona of my comlink is going to happen, what my online persona was going to happen to them because of security. I need to break into here now. Now, this is a complex action that you're going to roll your hacking plus exploit. With a threshold equal to its firewall, you can roll every initiative pass. The disadvantage here is the system I'm trying to break into. Every time I roll that attempt to break into there, that system gets a free attempt to detect that I'm doing that. It gets to roll an analyze plus firewall extended test every time I roll it, that its threshold is my stealth. So there's a very good chance that it could detect me way before I break in through its firewall, depending on how difficult that firewall is. Now, a big important thing to notice about my check here is I'm only going for personnel access when I'm going after its firewall. If I want security access, threshold increases by 3. If I want full administration access, threshold goes up by 6. So me as the hacker, I could have, if I want to get that full access, 6 higher to my threshold above its firewall. That's when it becomes very evident that it might detect me very quickly. It doesn't need a lot at that point in time with its firewall plus analyze. the amount of times I have to be successful in comparison to it. Then I have to worry about matrix security, knowing I'm there and dealing with me. It doesn't stop me from finishing my hack and getting in. I'm just alerting security. So that's it for today. I introduced you to, of course, a couple more miscellaneous actions you can do when related to Matrix, and I dove into the basics of hacking. I talked about, of course, using a passcode and hacking on the fly, the most brute force attempt at it. In the next episode, I'm going to talk hacking, probing for weaknesses, and dive deeper into the kind of things you need to do to hack systems and hacking in general online. So if you have any questions, comments, anything you would say, anything you think I left out, please leave in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. It should support the channel, the empire, the work I do. If you want to show some extra support, you can always check out my Patreon, link in the description below. But regardless, until the next time, I bid you farewell.